and welcome to the Glacially Musical Podcast. It is beer, metal, and swearing, a ghost cult joint. I am Nick Cameron of Glacially Musical, joined by my good friend, a pale, pasty white man with some crunch, Keefy Cheesecake. How we doing today, buddy?
Dude, I love cheesecake more than you could possibly imagine.
Cheesecake is delicious. If you disagree, you are wrong. Anyway, thank you for joining us this week. If you are here for Flash Gordon, what is wrong with you? And thank you. Here's how we do this. Each week we have some departments. We do a greeting, a beer check, a vinyl check, news check, shirt check. I'm going to shirt check now. This is a chaser, I think. So as I was told in the chaser to wear my track jacket, I am wearing my Father's Day track jacket. As you can see, I am leading a healthy lifestyle where I punch people for protection money.
I thought you were gonna start beatboxing like corn.
No, I mean, I saw a thing on Reddit. Do you dress for the job you want? Yes. I wear a tracksuit because I want to be a wise guy. I wear band T-shirts because I want to be a roadie, and I wear hockey jerseys because I want to play in the NHL. Yet no one will hire me for these jobs.
Can you just satisfy me and give me a little bit of corn? Like a little corn music, give me a little corn vocals? No.
Go
Can't
finger fudge yourself
do you
right
not
now.
do you not know
You
how to beatbox?
Sorry, I haven't done that in 35 years back,
No one has asked Nicholas to beatbox ever
No,
on
I'm
purpose.
I'm really good at rapping, shockingly enough, but I look like a crazy person while I do it because I just stand very still. And anyway, this is actually really warm, so I'm taking this off.
Dude, I just did the weekly ritual. You jumped in for a second. Thank you for popping in. Very unusual that one comes before the other in this format, but I did the. I went to a show last night. You'll find out at the shirt check, and I had a ski mask on to do the whole first like 10 minutes of the
The
podcast.
hell is wrong with you?
It's like
No,
70
no.
degrees here in California. I don't know what's
No,
going
it's 95 degrees here in St. Louis. 95 degrees with a humidity of 18 to 78, 100%. I don't even know. The Glacial Musical Beer of the Week is the Glacial Musical favorite, the STL IPA from Urban Chestnut Brewing. It's a mighty 8%. I'm going to finger fudge pour it directly into the Schlitz pint goblet. Look at that finger fudge pour.
That was a super finger fudge pour and a super pop.
Oh, I've decided. If you're listening to this, you need a name. We need to have a name for the Glacial Musical Podcast fans. It's the Finger Fudgers. You're all welcome.
That's kind of amazing. I got to be honest with you. No beer this week. I did have a beer last night, so this is great. Last night, I attended a networking event hosted by Slack, which is now owned by Salesforce. Slack is awesome. We use it for Ghost Cult. I've used it at companies, and I learned a lot about Slack that I don't know and how to use it for
Like the religion Slack?
the app Slack.
Oh, not the Church of the Weirdness thing?
I don't do churches, bro.
Oh,
Except chicken. Church's chicken is delicious, but I don't do churches. So I had a beer last night. I had a Lagunitas IPA standard in the maroon label bottle with a free piece of pizza. Honestly, the pizza was mid, but all pizza here is bad. But
It's
free
the
pizza.
church.
Is
I
still free
apologize.
pizza.
It's the Church of the Subgenius. It's a phony religion that actually gets real religious status. It's great.
Are you Wile E. Coyote super genius though?
No,
All right.
no, I don't chase bunnies.
Okay. No beer today. Liquid
That's
Death.
unfortunate. Cheers, my friend. Pop it.
Did you see the Liquid Death commercial with Ozzy telling kids not to snort the electrolyte dust?
No, I did not. What's the line? Lick it, slap it, rub it down. Cheers.
Sort of. I need a body bag. That girl is poison. No? All right.
No. Moving right along to the vinyl check this week. I put to you the most metal man from Tennessee ever. He was metal before metal was a thing. Who is it, Keefy?
Is it Hank 3?
No.
Steve Austin of Today's the Day?
Not even close.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. This is the songs that made him famous. It's a pretty fairly cleanish copy. It's got some surface scratches. Got it at Record Exchange for $20. I mean, now tell me if you could leave this on the shelf. Ballad of a Teenage Queen. There you go. I Walk the Line. Don't Make Me Go. Guess Things Just Happen That Way. Train of Love. Side 2. The Ways of a Woman in Love. Next in Line. You're the Nearest Thing to Heaven. I Can't Help It. Home of the Blues. And Big River. There's no way that could stay. It had to come home. And this is on... Man, I got some glare going on, and I apologize. But if you look closely, that is the Sun Records label.
That is neat. I might have just wanted that for the Sun Records label. I don't think the track listing is stellar. Is that the original recording of Walk the Line? Like, that's not live, not with the great band?
That's the original. What this is a compilation of his... He didn't put out any... I don't believe he put out any official LPs on Sun Records. They were all...
Singles.
And then Sun Records went, oh, we can sell you to a big label and have all the money. Because we don't have the money in the distribution.
Noted. There's a new Johnny Cash record coming out tomorrow. New compilation. New compilation.
Oh.
But new, which means maybe new press and new whatever. Is that all you got today? A 1-4?
No, I got another.
Oh, well, I thought you were a 1-4 and done for.
No,
you like that, right? I was saving that one.
Not this week. Next week, yes. I'm going to do a 1 for done for possibly next week. Sebastian Bach, The Boy Within the Man.
Dope.
Now,
tell me how it is. I have not heard the whole thing yet.
This is a... As Keefy already knows, because he's the one that told me to get it. This is a glow-in-the-dark edition. Let's see if we can see some glow-in-the-dark business. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. Yeah, me at the right. Can you see it? Can you see it?
I cannot see it, but this will make a good Instagram post if you put it in a completely dark room and then try to take a photo of it.
Probably won't do that. The cover of this record is from a painting his father did. Which makes it a very wonderful thing. The problem is, his father was really good at painting backgrounds, really good at painting foregrounds, really good at painting human bodies, but really bad at painting human faces. So,
including Baz's on this cover, apparently.
It's only Baz's faces. You got little Baz, which looks terrifying. He looks like one of the dudes from a Tool video. Looks like one of the guys moving his head real fast in Prison Sex by Tool. And then you've got like older Baz, which is still young Baz now because Baz is like 70. And it's everything but those two things are really great. It's a really cool cover. As for the record, and then on the back cover, you get like actual Baz through some wonderful Photoshop. But as for a record, I think this is the best. This is the best Skid Row and related release since probably Slave to the Grind, honestly. Bold words, I know, bold words for some hair metal that not many people care about anymore. But I read Baz's book. It was a great book. Made me want to listen to his records. I did. They were terrible. The solo records of his I listened to that he spoke lovingly and glowingly about were just fudging terrible. He was just finger fudging his own record that nobody bought.
Does that include Angel Down, which has Axl on 2 songs?
I don't remember what it was called. I just know.
Did you hear Axl Rose? They did covers of Aerosmith and stuff.
This is like pre-COVID that I read this.
Yeah, pre-COVID. Like it's.
I know, but I don't remember.
Okay, sorry.
Time has lost all meaning since then. So
that's also true. I'm gonna tell you that the Skid Row record from last year is phenomenal.
I disagree. I actually got it from the librarium. I did not steal it. I don't have Spotify. So I go to the librarium and I say, I want to check me out some music. I want to go ahead and rent me up some movies, which I tried to do with Flash Gordon for today. Finger fudge that, so I had to rent a stupid thing. But no, I rented it. I got it from the library, listened to it, and you had talked it up too much. Too much.
Implore you to listen again, friend. I also had to rent the movie for today from Amazon.
$3 for me. I got half off for Prime.
So did I. Yeah, so did I. Same. I'm glad we didn't spend that much to do the episode.
Whoa. Continue. Vinyl check.
So your vinyl check is done.
Yeah.
I now need to check out the Baz album because I've only listened to a few singles and I like what I heard. I have a fun one today that I nearly broke out during the last series. This is, I'm not sure if this is an official or not, Slayer Undisputed Attitude. I'm pretty sure you have this.
I do not have it. I've only heard it a handful of times, actually.
Yeah, this is probably a terrible bootleg, and I am ashamed for buying it.
Let me see the cover. Give me a good view of the cover.
This is like definitely not the real cover.
That is not the standard cover. However, that doesn't give me booty vibes on it.
Well, it is from Mortal Shock Records, so it is not from American Records or Metal Blade. Or Nuclear Blast, any of the labels the band has been on. It does have the whole album, including Gemini, which I do love. But yeah, I feel bad for buying this. This is a while back, and I bought this. We're toward the end of the year last year, already in the mylar. Came in the paper. Pretty standard A and B. Black.
That is an unofficial release. It was dropped on December 8th, 21, and it has bonus tracks.
Oh, I don't have the bonus tracks. I only have the... I don't have the bonus tracks.
This has 16 tracks. Do you have 16?
I do.
Okay, that's the whole... yeah.
Yeah. Memories of Tomorrow.
There you go.
Which I do love. Suicidal Tendencies. Metallica used to cover that, by the way. But yeah, the Slayer covers the better. All right. Good times. That's my one for today. We're nearing the end.
Do not be ashamed of buying unofficial releases of hard-to-find records. They shouldn't be hard to find. Everybody look to the Beastie Boys. When a Beastie Boys vinyl record gets too expensive, they repress it. Thank you, Mike D. Thank you, Adrock. And God love you. Rest in power, MCA. My news check's pretty short this week. Again, it's everybody's touring, and that's like the big thing. Personal news, the next time we speak, I will have seen the Rolling Stones. I am seeing the Rolling Stones this weekend at Soldier Field in Chicago. As for that, I got some more touring news. The Lemonheads have announced another It's a Shame About Ray tour. It is coming to town. I believe I'm not going. Fingers crossed.
I would not pay money to go see the Lemonheads anymore. I think
my wife is a fan. I am not. So if she wants to go, we'll go again. If she doesn't, we won't. And
what are your other Chicago plans? Are you getting a steak? Are you going record shopping? Shy Dog? What are you doing? Wrigleyville?
Going record shopping. Talking about Pride Parade. We don't have a whole lot of plans. I want to go to Reckless Records again while I'm there with some money because I didn't have any money last time I went. I haven't been to Chicago in a number of years, but no, we don't have strong plans. It's just we have to be there, so we're making the best of it.
Don't eat the pizza. Don't eat the pizza.
Oh, I love Giordano's. Oh man, I would cut my mother for a Giordano's right now. I mean, not deep, just like it'd be a fake cut. It wouldn't be a real cut.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, just like oh, look, I did it, and then like, see, I did it. Go away, Mom. Go away.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Talking about hurting your mom.
Look, I mean, can you picture me like actually like being a wise guy, like going to get my collection payments? That'd be me. Like, look, I did it.
Instead of being a Pesci, though, you would be like Frank.
I'd be Henry Hill.
Casino. No, you'd be in Casino, not Goodfellas. Why?
I know.
Why?
I don't know.
I love it more than Goodfellas. That's
really?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be a good chaser. That would be a good chaser.
Well, I said movie soundtracks again, original scores, and also all the soundtracks of Scorsese movies because his movies.
Man, I think Goodfellas would be.
Goodfellas is the best music.
See, I think we could only do 2 of those because we would have to do an episode on the movie, followed by an episode on the music and why it hit.
I think you could make them 1 episode each, but anyway.
All right. Anyway, moving forward,
news?
My next bit of news. X, the seminal, I guess, second wave punk band. I don't know. from Los Angeles, originally produced by Ray Manzarek of The Doors, because he felt they were so important. He wanted to produce their first record. Is releasing their last album, Smoke and Fiction, and they are going on the End Is Near tour. So we're not going, unfortunately. We have seen X before. If you have not seen them, I would really recommend it. They put on, even in their advanced ages, they put on a really great show about 6 or 7 years ago. So I've seen X now twice and X once. And that is my news for the week.
I also have seen X once. I agree. Don't go again if you have, but if you never have, try, because this is probably it. Oh, why is the fucking fan on here? I never turned the fan off because I was sweating so much during the previous podcast. That's terrible. I'm sorry, everybody listening.
Sweaty desperation for anybody that listened to last week's DMA.
Oh, that's okay. Let's see. I know you don't do Spotify, as previously mentioned on this podcast. Spotify,
I choose to be a Luddite.
Is officially raising their prices. There's a lot
I
of
do
discussion.
pay for Spotify,
There's
though.
a lot of discussion about why Spotify has ruined people's love of music, because music is disposable and not valuable anymore, because you can get all of the entirety of human history of music for, it was $10.99 for a premium sub. It's going up to $11.99. Doesn't affect me none. They can make it 20. They can make it $20 a month. I'd still do it. It's too important to not have it.
I will say I regret, because my lawyer wife asked me if I wanted one too, because we bought the child a Spotify account for Christmas. That was one of her presents, because she's been listening to Spotify for a while, and I know the artists make more money from the premium Spotify. I don't know. I think, and I said no, I'll never use it, and I realized I fucked up, because I would be able to use it for this show.
That's true. You also, I'll see if I can share my account with you or something. I'll take a look what they have for like a family deal, and I'll just share my account with you. We'll see. But then you're married to, you may not get I don't know if you get your own separate account under my account. I don't know how that works. I'll look it up. So Spotify going up. Paramount, the owner of brands like MTV, killed off MTV News. I talked about this extensively on the Ghost Cult Weekly
That has
Ritual.
been all over the local media here.
We were the first metal site to talk about it. I loved MTV and MTV News, and I understand that MTV doesn't do music anymore, really, or music news, but the site had the archives for the entire 28-year history of MTV News as a website. Gone. Hip-hop playlists you can never get back, video clips, and then Paramount did this for CMT, TV Land, some other brands. It's like, you guys can't afford server space to keep a website up. That's where you cut the budget. You have all this trash television, and this is where you cut the budget. Disappointing, to say the least. And then, just very sad. I'm sure there are links on ghostcult.com where I link to MTV News, where I have now dead links, but who knows if I can search them. And then, I guess for a last bit of news, so many things to discuss, but for a last bit of news, I guess this will tie into the shirt check next. So we'll do a hybrid news story shirt check. So last night I went to Slack to that thing, and then from there, in my Hawaiian shirt and my puke green Mini Mart hat from Los Angeles, I went to go see Casket Robbery open for Gorgatron and Vorath. And perhaps you saw in the metal websites this week that those three bands were subject to a faux pas. A local promoter in Rapid City, Iowa, misunderstood the instructions of the band and canceled the show on them and talked a lot of shit about them publicly instead of just a phone call. And so I wanted to, the show was around the corner from my house. I could literally see my building from the venue. From inside the venue, they played the upstairs at the DNA Lounge. Normally the downstairs is much bigger, but the upstairs, all these three bands... Is that
next to upstairs Hollywood Medical College?
It is not. All the bands have relatively new music or singles or albums out. I bought merch from all the bands, including my shirt check. New Casket Robbery shirt. I'm sure I have
love
at least...
me some Casket Robbery.
Yeah, they're so good. Their new song is the Lacrophagus. We debuted their video at Ghost Cult last week. There's a giveaway going on right now to win tickets to see them for free, merch, and...
Everyone should do that. Oh my god.
Prop eyeballs from their music video, because Lacrophagus is a tear stealer. I don't know where they come up with these things, but they're great live. I had not seen them in this incarnation yet live. They're phenomenal live. All the bands were phenomenal. Honestly, you love technical death metal. You would love Gorgatron, and you would love Voroth also.
I do like technical. I like. There's only like one or two kinds of death metal I don't like. Vomitorium death metal. I don't know what the actual terminology is, but it's the kind where it sounds like the singer is coagulating blood through his esophagus the entire time.
You mean like Mortician?
I don't know their names.
I don't think there's an actual name for it. It's just a classification of bands.
It sounds like where it sounds like the vocals are coughing up blood the whole time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing. Okay, I get that. That would be great for like a song. But if you sound like coagulating blood the whole time, I'm not finding the melody, the music, the rhythm, or the blast beats. I'm just here. You sound like one of my coworkers that hawk tuas constantly at work.
Oh no, the Hawk Tua. The Hawk Tua
I had to drop
has gotten a reference in the Hawk
Dropped
Tua.
it.
Hashtag Hawk Tua.
Do I sound? By the way, I moved the microphone. Do I sound good? Am I still?
You sound great.
Okay.
Great. Do I sound okay? Do I sound
You
like
sound
static?
wonderful. You sound sexy as hell.
Hawk Tua girl has merch and a record label.
I know. She sold $70,000 worth of merch already. Good for her because she did not make any money off that viral comment. If you go viral, find a way to make some goddamn money because you know what? You made somebody else money because you went viral.
Let's toast to Hawk Tua girl.
Hawk Tua, yeah.
And spitting on that damn thing.
Spit on that thing. Nobody's ever done that. Is that good? I mean, is it good? I don't know. Doesn't sound good.
Might feel good. I don't know.
Not with Hawk Tua. That sounds like you're gonna get like some like God. What's that guy from? What's that jackass from Beauty and the Beast?
No idea.
I don't know. He was played by the dude from Hobbit. I don't know. Whatever. I'm very good at expectorating. You know that guy. Anyway, whatever. Shirt check. The Goonies never say die.
That's it, bro. Goonies, Goonie power. And of course casket robbery. So yeah, great shirt, by the way, buddy. And my Sacred Reich hat. You wore your tracksuit, Chaser approved tracksuit jacket.
That is my Father's Day tracksuit.
And this is
Get
yet
it right.
another of my like 50 completely douchified trucker hats. I don't wear camo, but I have I have camo shorts. I have two camo hats. One is obituary. That is more like a regular baseball hat, dad hat, and this is Sacred Reich.
Let's
Meat time.
Let's go ahead and move it on. Let's move on get on the train here. Let me set up the stage here. So we are looking at. Actually, I don't know what year this is. 1980. What is 1980? 1980 is the worst year of all time in American history, if you're white. Because what happens in 1980 is Ronald. Well, I mean, if you're not white, there's a lot of worse stuff. But in 1980, we are just weeks out from Ronald Reagan being elected into the United States presidency. And all of the wonderful, good social things the United States had enacted over the previous 40 years, post-World War II, post-McCarthy hearings, is completely unraveled. Starting at this point. At this point, cocaine becomes a congressman in every district. We are about to get to the very strangest part of United States history, which leads us to actually where we are now. In the 1980s was a very unserious decade. We made heroes out of villains, and we made villains out of very good people. A person who committed literal treason in 1986 in the Reagan administration is now a national hero on Fox News and for the right wing. That is Oliver North. He committed literal treason by selling our enemies weapons. In the 1980s is a very unserious decade, and this is a wonderful, wonderful entree into what we're getting. And I'm going to leave the setup there because I don't know what else to say.
The 80s were quite a time. The 1980 was quite a time. I was 8 years old in most of 1980, and my mom.
I was 4.
My mom took me to see the Flash Gordon movie. So let's talk a little bit about Flash Gordon for a second. Maybe. I also saw Fame in the same year. And
I'm not
again,
saying the movie was awesome. We'll get to that. What I'm saying is
yeah.
it's awesome that your mother was willing to take you to a comic book movie.
My dad was the sci-fi fan, but my mom
Let's
took me to
point
see
out
Flash.
in 1980, comic book movies did not exist.
No, and let's discuss like my favorite television show of the 70s is the Spider-Man live action series. That is horrible.
Oh my God, the one from
disco music.
is that the one from Electra Company where he had like the lightning?
No.
The
It's
lightning
not
web?
animated. It's human.
No, there was a
Live
live
action.
action Spider-Man
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he had a lightning web.
It's insane. I love the show.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
so bad. It's great. Other
Yeah, it's
things
like all
are
the
so bad. They're
it's
not
like all the
good.
Batman stuff.
Similar to this movie. It's so bad. It's epic. Batman
this movie
is going to
is
come.
awful.
Batman is going to come up in a second because Batman is intrinsically tied to the Flash Gordon movie. So here's the fun thing. For those that don't know, probably a generation ahead of us, older than us, grew up with a serialized comic book in the daily newspaper, Flash Gordon, who was an American sports hero who ends up going to outer space to battle aliens and monsters.
As you do.
As you do. And blonde hair, blue-eyed.
Wow, I don't know if anybody's ever talked about those kinds of guys before.
Those attributes, yes. Not my chosen
Did
people,
anybody
but
get a
anyway.
medal for birthing him or?
So Flash Gordon...
I'm stopping right there, don't worry.
Flash Gordon is a long-running, beloved, globally syndicated comic book strip for decades, 30s, 40s, 50s.
And before that, he was a serial. Like he was
Radio.
Flash Gordon was no even after that, he was a short in the movies. The famed George Lucas, who's going to come up later, stole from Flash Gordon, the Flash Gordon serials. That's
He's
where
going to
the
come up now
crawl came
because
from.
I was about to do it now. But, like, that's okay.
Oh, we'll do it
would
live.
You like to, will you want to
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
I hate that guy. Do you want to do it?
I know, I hate him. I'm just throwing shit out there.
We're missing the debate right now. How bad is that? This is much better entertainment.
No, I'm doing a podcast on Flash Gordon rather than watching those two people yell at each other.
Yeah, it's going to be stupid.
I feel like I win.
One guy's going to yell, the other guy's going to not yell. I just don't want him to fall over or anything.
We're fine.
Would you like to talk about the George Lucas of it all, or shall I?
No, you go ahead. I just wanted to throw that out there.
All right, no, you're fine. So, for many years, Dino De Laurentiis, well-known Hollywood producer, Silence of the Lambs, James Bond movies, other things, horror movies, Dino and his family, they had made Danger Diabolic, which I don't know this film, despite my love of B movies and weirdness, and Barbarella, which I see on a weekly basis at the bar.
Oh my God!
Barbarella
it's been
still
a long
played.
time since I've heard that word.
Barbarella is awful and wonderful at the same time. Shout out to Jane Fonda in her better days.
Is that the one where Sean Connery is in the Bandolero Mankini? Or is that
is Zardoz.
I'm sorry.
Zardoz. By the way, stop everything after this podcast and go watch Zardoz and rent it, steal it, buy it, something.
The first time I saw a photo of the Sean Connery Bandolero. Okay, again, Bandolero Mankini is what he's wearing in this movie.
Banana hammock.
I did
Sean
not
Connery.
know. I did not know that was a real thing.
I know whether
I
Sean Connery is definitely uncircumcised by judging by
wow.
his mankini.
Stop it. I assumed that
Sean
that was
Connery.
Stop it.
Sean Connery's schlong is quite
Oh, Jesus H. Christ.
amazing. Anyway, so
I thought that was a Photoshop. I did not realize, and I Googled it, and I'm like, holy hell, that's Sean Connery.
Zardoz, Zardoz, one of the greatest, terriblest movies of all time.
Oh my
Anyway,
God. Moving on.
so De Laurentiis wants to make a Flash Gordon movie, and he had talked to Federico Fellini about this. Well known. Fellini was kind of into it.
Was Godard involved in this too, or just
no.
Fellini?
No, was not. Yeah, Fellini. Like Fellini
Well,
will make
did
this.
Kurosawa not answer the phone? I mean, this is before answering machines.
Kubrick didn't pick up that day. Apparently, 8 other directors were considered before they landed on Mike Hodges. And the screenplay they finally landed on was a rewritten by Lorenzo Semple Jr., a name you might know because he was intrinsically involved with writing the majority of the scripts for the 60s Batman television show. So they felt like, oh, we got a good Hollywood director, a guy that has written a successful comic book TV show. How could we blow this movie? This is going to be amazing. They picked a great actor-ish guy, maybe not a great actor, but a great-looking guy, Sam Jones.
I thought he did a good work.
Well,
He played dumb well.
He's not in most of the movie, his words, actually. It's all overdubbed by another guy.
Oh, he got Peter Criss?
He got Peter Criss. He Peter Criss himself. We're going to talk about it. He Christ himself. Hey, maybe that's a new... We'll talk about it in band terms. That guy Peter Criss himself, or aced himself.
I like that. I like that.
So George Lucas was turned down. He pitched De Laurentiis, I would like to direct this. Was turned down, turned around, and wrote Star Wars. Also, uncredited rewrites on the Flash Gordon movie were done by, guess who? Frank Herbert of Dune, who George Lucas also mercilessly robbed.
Wow.
For
you know who else? George Lucas mercilessly robbed?
I mean, everybody.
Akira Kurosawa.
Oh yeah, of course.
Hidden fortress like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, the current and very controversial TV show, The Acolyte, which I hope you were watching. No spoilers, but
I am up to episode 4.
A lot of people are hating it. I love it.
Once I got past the first 2 episodes, it started really improving for me.
I understand that people are mad at things.
I'm just at the point now where Star Wars shows have to they have to. I haven't finished most of them, so they have to now catch me.
Andor is really great. That's the one.
That's
the best one of them all, including Mandalorian.
I'm sorry, it took like 8 hours just to get.
It's very long.
Yeah,
the sweet spot is 8 to 10 episodes. This is, I think, 8 or 10.
Moving on.
It's too many. Anyway, so they go to make this film, and their intentions are good. Like, it seems like it's going to be a good film. Very, at the time, Max von Sydow to play the bad guy. Side out, whatever, Brian Blessed, and Mariangela Mulatto, and Topol, and very well-established theater and movie actors, especially in Britain. Peter Weingard, Peter Duncan, these are well-known names in 70s film.
If I could, if I may, Flash Gordon is the Mongo's hottest new club. This place has everything. Crazy, but still very sane scientist, sex-positive lady aliens, the brewmeister from Strange Brew, R2-D2, Oompa Loompas, Big Boss Nass, manhood or death tests, Cousin Sissy from Hot Fuzz, and literally the sexiest execution scene of all time.
That is perfect. No notes. Brian Bless, I think he was also kind of on the periphery of Monty Python.
Who?
Topol, Fiddler on the Roof.
I do not believe
T-Dalt, arguably the best James Bond, T-Dalt. The best
James Bond?
Living
I'm not
Daylights.
a James. In fairness, I'm not a James Bond fan, even a little.
Well, we don't like women abusers, but James Bond rules. Anyway, the movies are
Kenny
great.
Baker was in it.
Kenny Baker and Deep Roy.
So in all my references, right? You've got the crazy but sane scientist. The American sci-fi trope. Jeff Goldblum is that guy. You picture a Jeff Goldblum movie, that's what he's doing. Kenny Baker was one of the dwarfs. Big Boss Nass was Voltan, the leader of the Hawkmen. Cousin Sissy, Timothy Dalton from Hot Fuzz. I mean, literally, this movie has anything you could ever want in a flick, except a good plot.
Except
that
it's not good. Yeah. So the movie comes out on a lot of hype. And it did well in some countries, but bombed everywhere else. I think.
Was it countries where they didn't speak English?
In retrospect, the movie is better, holds up better than you remember. It is just under 2 hours of runtime. And the
151.
The budget for this film was $20 to $27 million in 1979, and it made about just under $50 million, which is a success. But they thought it was going to be like Star Trek, Star Wars, Jaws, none of those. I'm trying to remember when the first Alien movie came out, but it's probably also around this time.
Like 1980, 1981, so maybe even the 70s.
Maybe the late
might have even been 79.
Because it was just 45 for the first Alien, so actually probably a little before this. But anyway, on paper, all these things sound amazing. The problem is the execution was not done well. And they didn't like the Effects are not good. The action is very stilted. The
Oh my
dialogue is
god, the
bad.
the effects are just like it makes Stanley Kubrick's A Space Odyssey look like Star Trek 2027.
Yeah, it's campy, which I like. I like the
Yes,
campiness, but the
it's
campiness doesn't make up for the bad acting and effects.
most of the acting I actually think isn't that bad, except for the people that you wouldn't think would be bad. Like Max von Sydow, I'm pretty sure he was on opiates for this entire film.
He's got some great lines. Like
He
he has
does.
great dialogue, and he's kind of a ham, right? So like, he's very good. Brian Blessed is great.
Tell
Voltan.
me his delivery was not subdued, a little sleepy.
Timothy Dalton dressed up like Robin Hood, wielding
Thank
a
you. I was going to
whip
say that.
in a death match on a floating platform with spikes that pop up on some Indiana Jones booby
Again,
trap shit.
as you do.
Yeah, Sam Jones, great looking guy, believable.
Just for
athlete.
the hang on, I want to go back to Timothy Dalton. I wanted to talk about him a little bit. His performance is probably the absolute best performance in this whole movie.
He
I
almost
mean,
carries the whole movie. There's no doubt.
that guy was doing straight up Hamlet in this movie. If that man has not played Hamlet, I mean, not now because he's like 8,700, but if he did not play Hamlet when he was like 25 or 20, the world lost out on a treasure we didn't deserve. That is how good his performance is in this movie. Unfortunately, his dialogue is sub George Lucas.
Timothy Leonard Dalton Leggett is 78 years old as of March 21st, by the way. So
Okay, that is not actually crazy old. Big Boss Nass, also known as, let me get his real
Brian
name for you,
Blessed.
Brian Blessed, whom I'm sure I have seen in something else, but I couldn't find anything. You know, it seems like if he did not play the Ghost of Christmas Present, then we all missed out on another great treasure because that man, his teeth are so big. He has American Colgate teeth from 1986, and he has a laugh that makes me think he's going to eat a Volkswagen in one bite. His mouth is so big. That dude could put a whole goose in his face at one time and then tell you about neglect and want. I mean, that is who I wanted doing it.
fair enough. So here's the rub, and then we're gonna move off the film. I love this film. First of all, I saw it with my mom.
I do love it.
I love this film in a way it's not supposed to be loved. It was got
Same.
definitely inappropriate things that I again like Fame, some inappropriate scenes for an 8-year-old.
It's
I think
inappropriate
my
for
mom-
me, and I'm 48.
I
I
think
mean,
my mom-
that's an inappropriate movie.
My mom thought I was worried you were gonna watch it with the kid. Actually, my mom thought that Sam Jones was probably hunky, and that's why she wanted to go.
Was that Flash?
Yeah, Sam
Okay.
Jones. Sam Jones is kicked off the film halfway through due to a fight with the director and the producer, possibly about money and other things.
Physical or emotional?
Like a beef, not a fight.
Oh, it'd be. I would like to see him punching out an old Italian director. That would just be the most American thing possible.
So apparently, Sam Jones, according to Wikipedia, which we know not to trust, was discovered as a contestant on the dating game in the '60s when De Laurentiis' mother-in-law saw a rerun in Italy.
That
dubbed.
straight up sounds right. That dude looks like he walked off the dating game. He's wearing slacks. He's got his hair parted in the middle like Tony Danza. He's got Tony Danza hair from Who's the Boss, except it's a beautiful blonde.
Or Ace Frehley. It was the 70s, 80s hairstyle.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, I'm not making fun of it. I'm saying he had the correct, appropriate time period hair with the slacks and the belt, the white slacks and the boat shoes he was wearing in that movie. Which I don't know. The 80s were a weird time, man. I mean, I could just see him walking off a boat onto the dating game. And with Chuck Woolery. I mean, it checks out.
Sam Jones' only prior acting appearance beside the dating game was as a bit role in the movie 10 in 1979 with Bo Derek. And Jones beat out Kurt Russell and Arnie for this role. I don't know how you could be better. Like
Arnold couldn't do this.
I mean, he didn't do much better.
No. We needed all-American kid. He's a quarterback for the New York Jets, Keefy's favorite team, right?
Could not hate the Jets, dude. I'm a Giants.
Why?
Because the Jets are terrible. I'm a Giants fan. I grew up a New York Giants fan. We had season tickets growing up.
What's the difference?
Shut up.
They play in the same stadium, right?
You don't have a team anymore. Be quiet.
I have a football team.
You have a fake football team that doesn't play real American football.
No, what are you talking about?
You don't root for the Rams, and you don't root for the Carolina Panthers, and you don't root for anybody. Kansas City Chiefs. Who do you root for?
I root for the Battlehawks and the Arizona Rattlers.
The Bengals?
No, the Battlehawks.
Would you root for an Ohio team?
No.
Never.
Fuck Ohio. I've been there.
To prepare for the role, instead of studying acting, which is what he should have did, Sam Jones ran 6 miles every day, London's Hyde Park twice a week. Not every day, twice a week.
So instead of learning to act, he did cardio.
He did cardio instead of acting. So his acting is bad. They kick him off the film. And
hang on. He only has like 2 shirtless scenes in the whole movie.
He's wearing the flat. Like, I don't know a lot of football players that wear a shirt about themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is so on brand for now.
Yeah, and they
I don't know if you watched the NFL, the NBA draft last night. I saw like 88 seconds of it because I don't watch drafts because I don't care. A dude named Matt Castle got drafted, and I swear to God, that son of a bitch was wearing a giant chain of a castle encrusted in diamonds. And I'm like, oh my God, that dude is Flash Gordon now.
That chain is rented. Anyway, the Knicks have no draft. I don't care. The Knicks have no draft picks until I die because they made a huge trade. They're gonna go for it next year. It's like
do they have draft picks in basketball? I don't even know.
Yeah, they traded away like the next 5 years of draft picks for one guy that might make them a champion. We'll see. I hate Boston. Anyway, so Sam Jones gets kicked
Jason
off the
Tatum.
Film. Sam Jones gets kicked off the film, and they overdub the rest of his dialogue, which is why you never see his mouth move the rest of the show.
Straight up Peter Christ.
Peter Christ, Ace Frehley, out of the thing.
No. Ace. Those were Ace's words. That is Ace the whole time, except for the one time that the dude is black, in both sides, where the black guy's fighting where Black Ace is fighting Black Ace.
Oh, it's gonna kill me. Anyway, the film.
That's another chaser we need to do. We need to do a commentary on that movie.
Oh, I said many times we should watch. Maybe the next time we're in person, we do. All right, we'll do that. Here's my proposal, live on the air. I will come to St. Louis in the next calendar year. We're gonna have another weekend together. We'll pick a reason why. Maybe no reason why. I'll just come visit. And we're gonna watch Kiss Meets the Phantom. We're gonna live stream us watching Kiss Meets the Phantom.
No.
Yeah.
It will be Attack of the Phantoms.
Whatever it is, we're gonna get.
I don't have Kiss Meets the Phantom on DVD. I have Attack of the Phantoms on DVD.
We'll watch Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
No.
Get schlitzed.
We will watch Attack of the Phantoms.
I will lose enough weight where I can actually drink heavily.
The difference is this is the European theatrical edition, where they took out the porno music and put in the Kiss solo music.
That's fair.
But it's the same movie.
So why do we spend so much time talking about this movie? It's awesome. It's terrible and awesome. It gave us moments.
It's to bossum. It is to bossum.
It gave us incredible moments like Hawkman dive and things
it also gave us a great reference in Ted. I don't know how many of our listeners.
I met Sam Jones, by the way, like 10 years ago at a New York.
Did you do like 48 shots in cocaine with him like they did in Ted?
No, he was signing autographs. His Playgirl spread, by the way.
He did a Playgirl spread? Okay, you know what? That checks out.
He did Playgirl before Flash, and then Playgirl reprinted it after. That's how
smart choices.
Hef was gross, but he was really smart.
No, Playgirl was not Hef.
And, sorry. I think it was, actually.
It doesn't matter.
So this is not a good movie. By the way, my love of my life, Debbie Harry, was almost Dale Arden.
That would not have been good.
That would not have been good. But she wasn't a very good actress in all of her movies that she's in that I love, and they're all bad. I don't know if you have any other thoughts about the Flash movie. It's pretty horrendous.
I just want to say it is the Flash movie. If you are used to the modern day, DC Cinematic Universe and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, if you watch this, you're going to be like, what in the fudge? I'm actually really thankful that we were able to get from Flash Gordon to Iron Man. you know, we're gonna go ahead and name Tobey Maguire a national treasure because he basically saved all of our asses. Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman, which by the way, Deadpool 3 coming out a couple of weeks. I get to see it twice in the first weekend. One with my bestie, one with my wifey. But that's besides the point. This is a bad movie. The script is terrible. The plot is just the worst. I mean, this thing is almost 2 hours long. It's got about 58 words in it. And it's got about 14 to 15 words in it that matter. And a lot of it is just, pointless blathering. It's like playing a role-playing game on the Super Nintendo or the Genesis, where you have to do 88 subquests that you hate doing to get to the real quest. That's the movie.
I have two last thoughts. I do highly recommend you see the 2017 documentary Life After Flash. So basically, this was supposed to be envisioned as a trilogy, and it did so badly and came out so was so derided.
That explains the end?
They,
question mark.
Spoiler alert: the ending is a cliffhanger, sort of. And so, not only did it ruin chances of us, all the actors were signed for 3 films. Sam was fired, ruined his whole career for decades, and eventually had to go take menial jobs to support his family because he couldn't get acting jobs because his reputation was that he was shitty in a shitty film that he was known for. But what is good about this film, at least a tiny bit, and why are we doing this at all, is because Queen did the soundtrack, and this is their first of 2 soundtracks.
Okay, if I could take over at this point,
you could.
I'm going to give you my entire thoughts on the Queen soundtrack on this. The Flash parts are great and not a mess and worth listening to. Unfortunately, that's only 3 songs on the whole soundtrack. And the soundtrack to a 2-hour movie is 35 minutes. It's a lot. It's a lot like a Monty Python soundtrack from the 70s, where half of this damn record is the dialogue out of order and lines that were never said in the movie. This soundtrack, this record, which I own on vinyl, and I'll check it next week, is on cocaine. This soundtrack is cocaine. Don't buy it. And I will say nothing more on the topic.
I'll give a few other thoughts. Like, on paper, it was a great idea. Their playing and singing on this is like the little bit that they do.
Not only was it a great idea on paper, but it was a great idea on a mirror with slots in it.
Shneef. Alana Shneef is the producer and co-producer of this record. Again, Brian May and Reinhold Mack, who co-produced the game, is the producer of this. This is their second record in the year of 1980. And Brian May wrote or arranged the most of this. The Wedding March, which is the traditional Richard Wagner Wedding March, is rearranged with Brian May's guitar. Brian May's guitar playing on the Flash Gordon soundtrack is bananas great. Very similar.
Does not save it.
Doesn't save it, but it's great. Like, if you just love Brian May's guitar work. Double track leads, hammer-ons, like Flash Gordon has a double tap, like a double tap tremolo hammer-on riff. Roger Taylor's drumming is humongous sounding. And the rest of this is not that good. Now, this film was scored by Howard Blake, so there's also the traditional... If you go to buy this, because you're a completist like me and Nick, not really, but if you need it, Howard Blake did the orchestral soundtrack. Howard Blake is known for the Avengers British TV show, and the Duelists movie, and the Titanic movie from '79, and Amityville in 3D, not a good film. The Hunger,
nope.
That's a good film. And other things. And he did believe, got the Order of the OBE and the Fellow of the Royal Academy of Music.
So did Big Boss Nass. He got the
Yes.
OBE.
He also has an OBE, which is insane. By the way, Howard Blake's still alive, 85 years old in the UK.
So's Big Boss. Big Boss Nass is like 87.
Yeah, he was just in a bunch of things too. So why did I insist on us doing this? I love this film, and Flash's theme, the song, is fantastic, right? Like, by itself.
I will just say that the biggest mistake on this album is that Mr. Fahrenheit is not on it.
Oh,
When
Don't
they,
Stop Me Now.
yeah, when they get to the football scene,
That should have been, yeah. The football scene is horrendous and should have been Don't Stop Me Now. I will tell you that I don't know what device was used, but the synthesizers, so like whatever they did on the game where they really went
oh
all in on
god,
synths, they went too far on this
awful,
stuff.
awful.
But the patches, like the sounds, are awesome. But like the music they make is
Yeah,
not.
it's not good.
Is there another song on the soundtrack that's even
No,
remotely great?
no.
I do like Ming's theme and The Ring.
Okay.
The Execution of Flash by John Deacon is terrible.
Yes, the whole thing is terrible. It's just
And Voltan's theme when the Hawkmen dive is amazing. Like that's like great, but like
Is
it's
it?
not good.
No.
It is
Okay.
one of their worst
Yeah,
albums.
this was a paycheck.
It sure was. Oh, I hope they got paid well because it's
I
terrible.
hope they bought a lot of schneef with it because they needed a. It's gonna take a lot of schneef to really appreciate what they did here. If you don't mind, I
What?
want
Wait a
to.
minute. What is wrong with Austria for this being the number one album?
Awesome.
Austria number one, Germany number two, Dutch countries I guess number seven. Dutch countries have a chart.
Max
Japan
von
12,
Sydow, probably.
UK 10, USA 23.
The
Shoot
fact
me.
that okay. Please, for the love of Balthazar, somebody, let's put this in the rearview goddamn mirror and get back to the records of Queen that aren't this. I am going to give you my tier ranking now to finish out this series. Um, I did look at it ahead of time, as you suggested. My worst to best, and I will be taking no questions after I say this. Queen 2, Sheer Heart Attack. Sadly, A Night at the Opera. Followed by, or tied with, A Day at the Races, because they're the same fucking record. Queen, Jazz, News of the World, and The Game. The Game wins just because I am so enamored with Another One Bites the Dust because that was my first Queen.
Fair enough, my friend. Again, the game was my first cassette tape that I owned. I'm gonna give my tier ranking. I will also say Queen 2 wins as the most complete and best Queen record, followed by
Oh,
News of
no,
the
no, 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 no.
World.
No, no. That was worst to best for me.
Oh, worst to best. Why do you always do that? It's supposed to be best to worst.
Is it?
I think so, but all
Top
right.
10 is 10 to 1.
I don't remember what you did. You have to email me this list, and we're gonna have to put it in here. All right, I'm gonna do my bit. My list is arranged differently. So my list is Queen. You said best to worst. Sadly, I think the game is actually the best Queen record, top to bottom, which is weird. But let's say
That's what I said, the game.
Queen 2, the game, Queen 2, Night at the Opera, Day at the Races. I agree. Sheer Heart Attack, News of the World, and Jazz. And then, unfortunately, Flash Gordon is dead last of these nine.
I didn't include Flash Gordon in my list, but Flash Gordon would have been first.
I will
for
say
worst.
two other really quick things. We're not going to discuss them. Of the remaining Queen albums made with Freddie alive, or not, Innuendo is pretty amazing, and A Kind of Magic is okay. Some of these other records are not, and I do love the Highlander soundtrack, which we're not going to talk about, but it is fun. It's not better necessarily, but it's fun.
I don't remember the Highlander soundtrack. I actually saw Highlander 2 way more often than Highlander 1, which, considering Highlander 2, I feel like I was abused as a child because of that. Highlander 2 is just terrible. And I didn't know what was going on. And the prison guard from Shawshank Redemption was in the Highlander.
The Kurgan.
There was a scene, the kind of scene that I don't like, the kind of scene we don't talk about in this house, but it is what it is. But
I do give the Highlander credit for one thing, not Christopher Lambert, but Tracy Scroggins' whole career. Tracy Scroggins, look up Tracy Scroggins.
I will not, because I knew somebody, I had a friend of me in school whose name was Frank Scroggins.
What does that have to do with anything?
Scroggins, well, obviously. Anyway,
I think
let's.
it's your turn. Your turn to take us home. Chaser next week. Do we want to announce the next
I'm gonna, yeah,
series?
I was gonna ask you that question. If you're asking the question, that means yes. So next week we're gonna be joined by a guest, as long as he holds to it. And next week, we're going to be discussing a box set. It is going to be the first box set chaser on on the Glacially musical podcast. We're going to be discussing Black Sabbath Anno Domini, the vinyl collection. Hopefully, Keefy has his in hand and has listened to it by then. If not, well, I have mine in hand and I have listened to mine. And I will give you my story with Rhino customer service. After
Dun
that,
dun dun.
I ended up getting $10 that I did not ask for refunded to me. I did not get what I asked for, though. Catch you next week for the story. And then the week after that, we're going to begin a hit fishing series, looking for new friends, looking for friends in high places to get all the subscribers. We're going to do Metallica in the 80s. We're going to do the first 4 Metallica records.
Are we doing Garage Days Revisited and Am I Evil? Jump whatever.
Do you want to do that? I
Blitzkrieg?
mean, we could like do those in like a single episode. We
We
could
don't have
do
to, we
those.
don't. We definitely need to do less episodes after this 9 crazy shit with 2 chasers or 3 chasers in it. but I might want to do like a half an episode on Garage Days the first.
It's only 2 songs.
No.
If you want to do
Okay, Garage Days re then. Let's skip the first and do
no,
re.
the first one is oh yeah, you're right. It's then re. We should do re at least.
We should.
But we might as well throw re in. Anyway, yes, we'll do that. We will do Kill, Ride, Mast, Garage, Justice. And with that,
And that should take us to almost plus a chaser, almost
2
the end of
chasers.
summer. 2 chasers in there, probably the end of summer.
We got a chaser before. We got 5 episodes. It's chaser 3, chaser 2, chaser next series.
Yeah.
So that puts us like September. And with that, I will say we have blathered on. I have said some ridiculous things that I will not apologize for because I feel like you needed to hear them. As I was told by a friend of mine recently, I am opinionated, I am arrogant, and I am entertaining. And I thank you for that because I appreciate that. I feel like you have really nailed my energy. And as we say at this juncture, before I get to that, make sure you give us a follow on all the things. If you could review, share, like, happiness, because reach in the world of the algorithm is difficult and you need help from small places everywhere. It is better to get 50 regular people sharing one episode than it is Metal Sucks to share one episode. So normal people, ready normal people? What musical's that from?
I don't remember.
The internet is for
Okay. I'm very tired right now.
Avenue Q.
Yeah, saw it once, like out of my.
I have it on
brain.
vinyl.
I was probably high at
Anyway,
the time.
so normal people, our friends, our family, our coworkers, our whatever, just, tell one person, share one link, all that business. If you can put a star review on either YouTube or on whatever podcast service you're listening to, it is so helpful. Getting through the algorithm is like being a salmon swimming back to spawn before we die. Don't let us die. Help us spawn. Come on, all the ladies, let me spawn. Up you river. Give it to the Azrak that. I'm not going to say the next line. And the next time you hear from me... Wait a minute, hang on. The next time you hear from my voice, you will have heard a man who has seen some things he has never seen before. I will have seen the Rolling Stones. And if you think Mick Jagger is going to be out there swinging his hips at age 90, you're sorely mistaken, my friend. It's about getting all the money while you can, when you can, now you can. I don't remember the actual words. And for what it's worth, thank you for listening. your continued support, your continued belief that what we do is valuable and is entertaining and worthwhile is extraordinarily uplifting for my soul, for Keefy's soul, for all of us that have a hole in our heart which can only be filled by internet stranger love. We thank you. Wait a minute. That isn't that.
It's
I
not the
don't know.
ending of the show ever, but I didn't invent the rainy day. I just have the best umbrella.
I don't know if that whole thing. Anyway, moving forward, this has been the Glacially Musical Podcast. As always, it doesn't play in Peoria, but tomorrow I am.
I'm bored. Let's play with the earth and blow it up.
I'm gonna be in Peoria tomorrow, like literally
That's
tomorrow.
like tomorrow. Amazing. Tell us how it goes.
I will.
All right. Peace, yo.
See ya.